going on? It's a Blockbull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. So today is an important day in the market. So the markets are awaiting this Fed meeting later on today. So the Fed meets here with uncertainty per meeting the year. Here's what to expect. So that's the headlines there. Trump wants the Fed to cut rates on Wednesday. Will Jerome Powell oblige? I hope he does, because I tell you what, at this moment in time, we're looking at around 96-97% chance that the rates will remain the same, as we know over the last few videos. Now, the Fed is set to hold rates steady as Trump tariffs cloud economic growth. So there's a lot of tariffs involved now, and this is basically what the Jerome Powell and the rest of the Fed are basically holding back for, because you know what? It's who's going to sort of crumble first, who's going to sort of, release the slack, if you will. So at the moment, we're at loggerheads, but overall, you know what? They both got a common interest, and the common interest is to basically worsen the US dollar. Okay, that means there's more economic growth within inside the United States of America, because more people are likely to lend the dollar, and this is exactly what China have done. This is exactly what the Japanese yen have also done. What they do is weaken their currency in order to lower sort of borrowing rates. Okay, and that way we can actually stimulate the economy and actually produce more manufacturing sort of jobs, okay, for retail, and that basically gives everyone an uplift. Okay, now whether or not we get to see lower interest rates today is another thing, but you know what? You got to remain optimistic, and who cares what the news is suggesting, because you know what? All they do now, whether it's the charts in sync with the news or the news in sync with the charts, it doesn't matter, because what they say in the old layman terms is show me the charts and I'll tell you the news, and I can tell you it's bullish news. So I do expect, regardless of what happens with the interest rates later on today, I do expect some decent moves from XYN, from Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever it is. I do believe crypto is going to begin moving in the correct direction, which is what we all want to see ultimately. So before I dive into the XYN charts, I just want to make a huge announcement as well. So I appreciate all the early subscribers into the blockbulls.com. However, we do have a new site now, so we're migrating from Shopify over to WAP. This will give us some more tools, so I can now offer you guys 1 week free trial. So that's not going to last forever, guys. So if you're on the fence in regards to joining the Discord, the link will be down below in the description, wap.com/the block bulls. Again, I'll leave the link down below. So it makes it a lot more simplified now. We're just migrating a few of the original OGs from the sort of the blockbulls.com over to this new platform now. So we've got the first couple of members in there now. The Discord will not change, so all the tools remain the same. We've got the crypto AI. Again, we've got the 7-day free trial. Again, $29.99 per month. You've got the AI technical analysis, crypto-driven metrics, exclusive crypto content, price targets, predictions, trading lounge, etc., and much, much more. You can also go live in there for group discussions, mentorship, etc., etc. So value for money is banging. We've got the FAQs there as well, and we've also got the affiliate program. So this was a big factor in sort of making that transition now. So you guys can ultimately make money from this sort of Discord, if you will. So you will be rewarded with 30%. So ultimately, you can make a business out of this if you wish to do so. Like I said, it's a 7-day free trial. Take it or leave it. The link is down below in the description. Okay, now that is out of the way, let's take a look at XYN in terms of the price action. So we're still printing this bullish pennant here. So initially, coming out of January, sort of slow bleed there, which lasted a few months up until, I would say, 9th of April. We had the sort of shot to the upside there, reaching just shy of 3 cents by the looks of things, and then we've produced another bull pennant. So you know what? Bullish structures all around, despite the sort of negative price action over the last sort of week or two. Now, in my view, XYN has broke out yet again. So you could look at this. I'm going to go through various sort of time frames, because it does matter what time frame you're on. Again, I don't really like going any lower than a 4-hour time frame, but again, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so if we're just taking this 4-hour sort of bodily close up here, we're coming through there, and you can see this sort of interaction here. So we had the breakout, we had the retest, and again, in the algorithm, XYN loves a slow bleed after this sort of pump here. So slow bleed, slow bleed, slow bleed. And then what it's done, it's reached the bottom here, which I've highlighted in these yellow circles. Wick, wick. and then we got this sort of price action. We're seeing more 4-hour bodily closes, and what's happened here is XCN algorithm doesn't like the price going any lower than this, so it says, you know what, we are breaking to the upside. So for me, this small move here is actually indicating that we are making a move to the upside. Okay, I don't believe it's a fake out. However, it does look as if XN sort of wants to retest the tip of this apex. Again, this is subjective, guys. So you could say, you know what, it doesn't need a sort of retest. All we're doing is retracing sort of to the 38.2% level. So this will be obviously a smaller fib level. Again, you can apply Fibonacci levels to any sort of sort of time frame, if you will. So in my view, we're coming down to the 382 there, which is that yellow line there. So you know what? Not long to there's not a lot to fucking draw down. Do you know what I mean? At this point, it's literally a hodl. So for me, XN has broke out. Now, again, if we're playing devil's advocates, we've got to look at these charts from every perspective because there's many ways to slice and dice it, as you guys know. Now, let's say, for example, let's go out onto the sort of 2-hour, see if that changes much, and we'll start using these wicks as well. And then what we could do is we could stretch this out. So now what we're doing is we're accounting for these 2-hour clauses here. You know, this can become really intricate. So for me, I don't get too caught up on this. Like I say, this is predominantly just for educational and entertainment purposes. So we're running into sort of resistance here. We're getting this sort of wick up there. And for me, we broke out of this sort of 2-hour time frame now. So we broke out, and XN, you know what? We could be just retesting the sort of what was resistance is now support. Once that's confirmed now, I would expect over the next few hours, certainly before this Fed meeting, the Fed meeting is basically going to dictate the new trend going into the next sort of Fed meeting. I believe there is another Fed meeting in June. I forget what date it is. I think it could be the 18th of June. Correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comment section. I'm sure it's 18th of June. Nevertheless, I do believe XN, the rest of the crypto market here, has been suppressed massively. And you can see Swift as well. We've talked about Swift many times over on this YouTube channel. For those of you that are subscribed will have noticed that Swift is highly correlated with Onyx XCN coin as well. So that's something to note as well. And I'll tell you what, we can have a quick look at Swift coin because we know Onyx is broken out and it looks to be doing a retest. So you know what, it's just a hodl at this moment in time. Now, Swift coin, again, we'll just keep this very, very short indeed. We'll just see where we're sort of heading. Again, this 2-hour clause here, we've got 2-hour clause here. We can stretch this out here, somewhere along these lines. Now, look at what price action has done. Yeah. Despite this fake out here, these are just 2-hour wicks. We're still seeing a bodily close inside the sort of resistance, inside this sort of red sort of bull pennant. Again, it's exactly identically the same sort of chart pattern. Yeah, we have 65% chance we're going to move to the upside. Now, look at what happens here. We've had a fake out down here. So we could have easily been saying, you know what, Swift coin is breaking down. It's not looking good. We could be pulling back further. You know, we could be retracing all the way back down here to this sort of initial sort of impulse. You know, it could be all kinds of calls going on, but this has been a fake out to me. And this is the thing with hodling bullish structures. It's not as if you can hold a crypto in a bullish structure and think, you know what, this is plain sailing. It gets to the tip of the apex and it goes. It doesn't. Price action likes to manipulate. So we have this sort of consolidation. Yeah, we're going back to sort of ICT trading here. So he basically talks about ICT as basically consolidation, which is what happens. And that's like the accumulation of all the orders, buyers and sellers from both sides. And then what you get is sort of manipulation. So what it'll do is it'll wrong foot the market and it'll do a fake out. And this is what we're seeing here now. So this is sort of phase 2 of 3. Phase 3 will then be the distribution. So this is where we see the big moves, okay, which I would expect Swift coin to begin breaking out this sort of upper sort of trend line. Once we sort of crack that sort of area resistance, which is around, in my view, this sort of yellow figure here. So that is 1 cent 46, I would say. You could argue a little bit lower, 1 cent 44, somewhere along those that sort of bowl figure anyway. We're kind of splitting hairs. So that's kind of where we are. We need to break that sort of figure, that yellow figure right there. We need to break that. And if we do, we are looking at the next leg up for Swift coin. And again, like I say, strongly correlated with XN, the whole market begins to move in the correct direction. So it's looking very, very good, guys. Again, if you're not subscribed over on YouTube, make sure to hit the like, make sure to hit the notification bell. And if you want to go that step further and you want to join us in the Discord and have that opportunity to earn 30%, you can again go over to what.com. The link is down below in the description. You get your 1 week's free trial as well, so you can experiment with all the AI tools as well. Make sure it's for you. Then be my guest. Anyhow, I shall see you in the next video. Fingers crossed now for this Fed meeting. I've been the Block Bull. Until next time, the Block Bull is over and out.